Hi, I'm Tara Palmeri, and I am finally back from vacation. President Trump really tried to ruin it by dropping that Epstein story over the holiday weekend, July 4th. He just didn't think most reporters would break from their vacations like I did to keep working. But it turns out that the Epstein story is something that I am personally passionate about. I spent many years covering it alongside Virginia Roberts Giuffre. It is the most important work I've done in my life. I did 2 podcasts, Broken, Jeffrey Epstein, and Power the Maxwells. And as you can see, while I was away, my plant died. So for all of you who thought it was a fake plant, it is a real plant. And if you have any ideas on how to save it, please leave me a comment because I don't know how to take care of plants, clearly. I do want to give a shout out, though, to all of the new subscribers who've joined the page. I really am grateful to have you here with me. And for all of you who've been with me all along, I appreciate that as well. And if you want more of my reporting on Jeffrey Epstein, I want you to know that I am still working very hard on that story. In fact, I'm doing some very serious investigative journalism, but it takes time. These are some of the most powerful people in the world. So please hang in there. I appreciate all of your support. I'll keep posting updates. Some of it will be analysis, new reporting, some old reporting brought to new light, some interviews, but I am working on bigger stories right now. So I hope you'll hang in there with me and please keep supporting me in the meantime. Now, I want to talk about this Hunter Biden story because it is absurd. Hunter Biden just threw President Trump a lifeline on the Jeffrey Epstein story that's been dogging him for I don't know, weeks now, probably as long as the only story I think that's probably dogged Trump this intensely was maybe the Russia story and the probe, the Mueller probe. But it just shows you Hunter Biden's political instincts. He goes on a foreign network, a podcast. The Bidens don't want to talk to American journalists. I guess they feel very scorned and angry at them. But he wanted to really just let it out and grieve over the 2024 race, blaming everyone in the Democratic establishment, including Nancy Pelosi, claiming that she was the one who pushed his father out of the race. She was the one who made the final decision. And I just think it was interesting because, yes, maybe Nancy Pelosi, put the knife in and made the final decision. But everyone in the party said it was time for him to be out, including the voters. The voters did not want Biden to run. And to me, what I heard was a man who was cursing a lot, as you'll hear in the video, just like arrogant and really confirming all of the reports about the family, about the Biden family and how they were desperate to hang on to power. And they believed that they deserved to be there. They deserved to run again because of Biden's 5 decades of service. And yes, he did give 5 decades of service, and we're grateful for that. But to then say that you deserve to stay in power because of that, you represent the people. You work for the people. It's the White House, the people's house. So this is a very off-the-wall, 3-hour-long podcast. I talk about the highlights of it on NBC News. I think to me, one of the more shocking moments was when Biden just suggestively says, Hunter Biden, I'm saying, if I were president in, 2 years or even 4 years, yes, he is thinking that he could run for president. People are so delusional. But who knows? Democrats are that lost. Maybe he's got a chance. Okay, and before we get into it, my producer Eric just asked me, what happened to your arm? Okay, that's a burn from a curling iron. A producer for Anderson Cooper reached out to me around like 2 a.m. my time because I went to Europe for a friend's 40th birthday party, and it was really late at night, and I was told I was going to be on the top of the show, but I thought, okay, I'll wake up. I'll go on TV to talk about Jeffrey Epstein, right? Because I had just put out a piece about how I believe that this was a class story and that the reason that these girls were being disregarded was because of their class. And that was the truth of the story. And I'm up there and I'm doing my hair and it's the middle of the night. And what did I do? I burned myself, and not just a regular burn. It's like a 3rd-degree burn, and it's turned into an infection. And every time I look at it, I think of Anderson Cooper. Because they canceled on me. They canceled on me right as I was about to go on TV. I'd gotten up in the middle of the night to keep working, and they canceled on me. And all I got was this infection, and I couldn't go surfing. And I love to surf, so It was a real bummer. And I just went to the doctor and now I have to take antibiotics because it has turned into a full-blown infection. So that's my dedication. Now take a listen to this interview on Not That, Hunter Biden.
I want to dive a little deeper into Hunter Biden's interview there, including his comments about that disastrous debate performance by his father last June. Joining us tonight is Tara Palmeri, host of the podcast, The Tara Palmeri Show, and author of The Red Letter on Substack. Tara, thanks so much for being here tonight. You heard there in Kelly's report, Hunter Biden claiming his father was given Ambien before that debate. Has any reporting indicated that was the case, and why would they have done that?
In fact, the family said that he wasn't feeling well before the debate. They never mentioned that he was taking these drugs. Neither did his doctor when he laid out the numerous prescriptions that he was taking. This is definitely coming out of left field. And it just seems to not exactly ring true. He seems to be bitter and trying to change the narrative. And it's certainly a gift to President Trump right now when he's trying to move away from the Epstein story for Hunter Biden to keep trying to rewrite history.
I do want to show our audience another section of that interview where where Hunter Biden rips actor George Clooney for speaking out against his father. Take a listen.
George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand. What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times to undermine the president?
And Tara, we didn't even show some of the most profane comments Hunter made about Clooney. Why is it that Clooney's break with Biden specifically has been so bitter?
I don't know. I think this is their anger about everyone. They're attacking everyone in the Democratic community, from David Axelrod to James Carville to the guys on the Pod Save America. They are angry at George Clooney. They feel like that was the tipping point when he put out that column in the New York Times calling on him to step down. But this all confirms all of the reporting at the time, all of the books that showed a family that was indignant, that was arrogant, that said, how dare you question our father because of the time he gave in public service? In fairness, 5 decades of public service. How dare you question them? But this shows you exactly how they were thinking and feeling at the time. They really were not interested in outside opinion from even the American people about whether he was fit to run again. I just see this as a man who's lashing out. And I don't know if you caught this, though, Tom, in the interview, but he did make a comment at one point saying, if I were president in 2 years or even 4 years, it's like, really? Is that how you're thinking? As if this is a legacy?
Yeah.
This is the Biden legacy to be followed, and Hunter, you're the guy to step in there?
Right. An interesting comment. I do want to listen to one more section of the interview where Hunter talks about former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's role in the 2024 election. Let's listen.
The people that came out against him were who? Nobody, except Speaker Pelosi, Speaker Emeritus Pelosi, did not give a full-throated endorsement, which allowed everybody else to kind of go, okay.
So, Tara, Hunter also claimed Pelosi in that interview didn't want Harris as the nominee. They're both from California, both serve San Francisco. Why would Pelosi have not wanted to see Harris at the top of the ticket, if Hunter's right?
Well, she knew that she wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I think this is fair that she knew that she wasn't the strongest pick. They wanted a mini primary. They realized that wasn't feasible. If you remember, I'm sure you do well, that Kamala Harris came in fourth in the Democratic primary in 2020. So they knew that she wasn't even really popular with the American people, but that was the person that they had to take. But the idea that this was only Nancy Pelosi and it's all her fault, all of the members, they were all speaking privately and then some publicly. Many people were speaking for years. Just looking at the polls, the American people, 2/3 of them were saying for years and years that Joe Biden was too old to run for re-election. And for some reason, the family just feels like that everyone was colluding against them, like the inside of the Democratic, the Democratic establishment was colluding against them. No, the American people didn't want it. And yes, the Democratic establishment pushed them out. But I find this whole revisionist history really interesting, and I think it validates all of the books and the media that they're trying to slam right now.
But
it's interesting, too, that they're going to foreign press.
Yeah, but I got to think the Democratic Party also wants to turn the page on this, and they can't, because the Bidens and the former president himself either does interviews or is out there in the media. And then now you're seeing Hunter as well, as the Democrats try to sort of find their North Star and their message as they regroup for the midterms and eventually a general election. Stuff like this gets in the way.
Totally, and it's not the messaging they want. It's a gift to President Trump when he's trying to get away from the Epstein story. And he's making headlines for saying, my dad was drugged. And by the way, we were pushed out by Nancy Pelosi, who didn't even want Kamala Harris. I just think this isn't helpful. They're on a legacy tour. Again, the family thinking only about their own power and just probably thinking that they're angry that they're not in office right now when everyone else is thinking that there would be a different outcome if he didn't try to run in the first place.
All right, Tara Palmeri, always great to have you on the broadcast. Great to see you, my friend.
Thank you.
Now to the terrifying close call in the air over.
Thanks for listening to the Tara Palmeri Show. I want to thank my producer, Eric Abinate, my booker, Jane Fusco, and my team of researchers, Abby Baker and Luke Radel, and my social media manager, Sarah Carney. If you like this show, please follow it, subscribe, leave a written review. I'd really appreciate that, and share it with your friends. You can get more of my independent reporting by going to tarapalmeri.com and signing up for my newsletter, The Red Letter. It'll come straight to your inbox, and if you become a paid subscriber, it's a way to support my independent journalism. I'll be back again soon.